And we are live. Good hello, world. Good hello, everyone. I hope everyone is doing so well. Welcome to this spontaneous live session. Oh my word, it's going to be so much excitement. Of course, you can see two beautiful ladies alongside me. They can give you a wave. Yeah, so let's get right into it. Of course, I am Althea, and yeah, we haven't been live in such a long time, but we would love to share some phenomenal news and just engage with our community today. Of course, yeah, and so just to get right into it, our theme for RLabs this year is expansion. And of course, the meaning, or at least our definition of the word expansion, is the action of becoming larger or more extensive. And of course, this is really appropriate to what we're going to be talking about today. And I'm definitely going to give over to Christine to just, tell us more about what's actually happening here today. I'm really excited for this one. Over to you, Christine.
Okay, thank you so much, Althea, for that amazing introduction. My name is Christine Nicola-Teufel. I'm also the Chief Innovation Officer within RLabs Reconstructed Living Lab. You know what? I've got goosebumps. You know, this, of course, today is it marks a very special day within the RLabs lifespan. Today marks newness. And I don't know if you ladies can feel it, but that's what I'm feeling. I'm feeling a journey of, a group of women. And, women, thank you so much to the gentlemen allowing the women to take the lead today. We are definitely feeling, just newness and a deep sense of appreciation for our people, for our community. And so, yes, we have the lovely, prestigious Chief Executive Officer Rene Parker with us. And of course, for those of you who have not been on our social media, firstly, you missed out. Secondly, we're going to give Rene Parker an opportunity just to share with us her experience on being on BBC World News. Yes, you've heard it. BBC World News. We have made it to this point. Rene Parker, if you could just share with us that specific experience. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Christine. Thank you, Althea. It's so great to be live with you ladies today. So this morning, we had the privilege of being featured on BBC World News. It was the business report segment. And we got to share about RLabs. I was so excited when I saw the word Cape Town and Cape Flats, at the bottom of the screen. I think that made me the most excited, is that, we always think what we're doing here at the southern tip of Africa, southern tip of the world, is so insignificant, right? And there's always people better than us somewhere else. And I loved seeing that being showcased. And it was really early this morning it happened. So I was a little nervous, I have to admit. I was given questions before the time, and of course the questions were not the same when the interview happened. But I'm really happy it went well. I'm happy they did not kick me off the show just yet, but just having a chance to share about RLabs and the work that we do, I think is always great, because it's not just for us, right? It's for the communities we serve. It's for the people that's not able to sit and have, to be on television, or for individuals whose voices can't be heard. That is why we go through these great lengths of actually doing interviews and for, getting exposure. It's not just for RLabs Reconstructed Living Lab, NPC, and with our registration number and all of that, it's just a piece of paper. What makes RLabs unique is its people. And so I was really privileged and extremely humbled to be able to have that very opportunity to share a little bit about what we do.
Thank you so much, Rene. And I love the fact that you mentioned people. And we know that Rene Parker absolutely love people. That's like the first thing that I think of I think of like, you know what, this woman, she's not only a CEO, sometimes I would see her, you know, in the heart of the community. And so maybe if you could just share with the world, you know, let's get deeper into this, to this aspect of people, you know, and the role that people actually play within this organization and this movement.
That's a really, you know, a good comment. I like using the phrase, the world's most underutilized resources are people. And our main purpose for RLabs, our main existence, is really to unlock the potential of people. As human beings, we are so intricate, the way we are made, the way we perform, and each and every person is so different. And with having different people, different types of personalities, people with different types of dreams and visions and ideas coming together, I think that is what's unique, you know, and that is the uniqueness of humanity. And especially when we can empathize with someone else, when we can see someone else for where they are at, you know, there's a saying that goes, just don't just look at me, but see me. And to be able to do that with another human being is really precious. And it's not something we should just take for granted and just think, you know, oh, there's another person I helped. No, you know, we think we want to change the world, but we can't change the world, but we can change one person's world. And so, and for that, you have to look at the person into their eyes and see them for who they are, but also see them for the future, you know, where they're still going to be, what they're still going to become. And that's really the heart of it. And that's what really excites me, you know, with doing the work that I'm really privileged to be able to do, is that I get to meet incredible people. They might not think they're incredible at the time, but it's always exciting to see them realize their greatness, realize, wow, I can achieve something, I can do something. And yeah, I mean, that's really, you know, everything in a nutshell, and just thinking, how do we make that contagious, right? So that it doesn't just happen to certain people or certain pockets of individuals or communities. How do we globalize that? How do we make sure every single person on the planet lives to their full potential? And not just live to their full potential, but make sure that someone else alongside them is also living to their full potential. Because that is really the magic in it, right? It's not just making sure you are growing and you're advancing and your business is doing great and amazing. If we all grow, then I grow. Right? If I grow, you grow. And just understanding that that we need each other, we need one another, and especially now in this pandemic, more than any other time, I think, in human history. We've really seen the essence of how it's affected people and how people have actually stepped up. You know, the resilience that we have as human beings has really been showcased along with everything else. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much, Rene. You know, when I think of people and you know, just I love this quote or phrase that our very colleague uses. We exist for one another, and so I'm definitely gonna give her an opportunity to get right into it. Over to you, Althea.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Christine. And thank you for sharing that, Rene. You know, the thing that really stood out for me is like seeing someone and not just being there, but actually seeing them. And what came to mind, you know, when you were sharing that, and especially around people, really like, it reminds me of this African proverb: if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together. And I mean, that really just showcased what you were able to do today. You went all the way to BBC. I mean, like that is really insane, you know, and amazing. And you couldn't have done it without the people, you know, we couldn't have done it without the community, without the partners, you know, all of the people supporting RLabs, supporting you, supporting Marlon. And so really just, you know, going on, you know, people and how that is really just what and how it has impacted, especially, over the last year. So maybe if we could just hear about like just the impact already that RLabs has made, and yeah, what other things can we be excited for? Over to you, Rene. Thank you.
Oh my goodness, RLabs for 2022 is on this journey. As some of you might have seen on our social media, our hashtag has been expansion. There's some new exciting things that's coming. I'm not at liberty to share all of it, but what I can definitely share is some of the reflections that we did. The beginning of the year, we got the team together and we reflected on what we actually did last year. Because you get so busy and you're doing all these things and you think you're making strides and you think you're doing something, but only when you stop and you pause and you reflect, do you actually see the magnitude of it, and at the same time it allows you to build on top of that. And so, yeah, I mean, last year in 2021, through the pandemic, through taking all our courses online, which we've never done. We've never had 100% of our courses online before. We have had over 500,000 graduates, which, that was in 1 year, in the space of 12 months. And of course, understanding how technology plays a role in that, how the community is just adapted to technologies. People that were saying before, I don't really like this online business, well, they all got online. Whether it was doing a course, whether it was starting their businesses. We managed to also support over 200 businesses in the space of 12 months as well. And I'm always going to go back to the pandemic, because this is something that's really in our faces, and I think we shouldn't just ignore it, right? Because it has taught us a lot. It's taught us how to think differently about things. Maybe not taught us, forced us. I should use the word forced.
Definitely forced.
With the way we thought we were doing these great and amazing things in a certain way, and we get so stuck in it, program after program, and just doing it because it worked. And of course, the pandemic hit us, and we had to be really agile, to think fast, and to move with the times. At the same time, we have to take everybody else with us. So being able to support so many businesses, I don't know if it would have happened outside of the pandemic, but I do know that even through this difficult time when people have lost their jobs, people might have had some kind of business that was really centered around being in person. They were able to change their business. They were able to change their model, their clients, which has been really interesting. So when I talk about the 200 businesses, some of them might be brand new. Others might have been in existence already, but everybody had to change the way we do business. We've also had over 17 million online visits on our various platforms, whether it's our websites or social media or some of our other technologies that we actually have. One of the highlights through this difficult time has always been feeding people, being able to feed people. We have Zlato, which is our virtual currency, our own innovation that comes out of RLabs. It's doing great and amazing things, but I'm going to leave that for another day. But we've managed to disburse and distribute food vouchers to the value of over 3 million rand. Right? Food vouchers to people, and impacting over 1.5 million people. And we've actually did some calculations. It could be a little off the mark, I'm hoping not too much, but provided a household income, in household income through the businesses and the people that we've trained, and being able to provide food vouchers to people has been over 20 million rand. That's been the value of that. And I think in a year with a small team, sitting at the southern tip of Africa, but I have to say, we could not have done this without our partners, without our other hubs in other parts of the world that have been doing great and amazing things. We could not have done it alone. And so, yeah, 2021 was great. It was, our theme last year was momentum, and building momentum. And we thought, wow, where we going with this? And this year, 2022 has just started.
It definitely has just kickstarted. Thank you so much, Rene, for that. Christine, would you like to ask anything else?
Oh my goodness, I've got so many questions, but just as Rene said, hopefully we'll get to speak to Rene for the rest of the week. One of the things that I mean we've mentioned is of course the year of expansion for RLabs, and so I know we can't talk about RLabs expanding, but let's hear what the leader, let's hear what the how. I mean, it's only been a week. We've Althea and Rene, we've only been back like a couple of days. Let me say days, because technically we started last week and Wednesday. And
Day 4.
4 working days, my word. And yet, so yes, we can't talk about RLabs, but let's hear how is the leader planning to, expand? I have a feeling she's got a crazy game plan. So just before we wrap up, let's just hear from you, Rene.
Oh my goodness, Christine. Game plan. I have a plan. Sometimes things don't always go to plan. But I have to say, as individuals, we've been talking to the team for a long time, that you need to expand. I mean, before we had the term expansion as a theme, but as an individual, for you to grow, it means you need to equip yourself, you need to empower yourself, you need to have new experiences, you have to try out new things. And I'm definitely a dreamer. I'm definitely someone that likes taking risks. I like, trying out new things. And, being with RLabs has actually allowed me to do that a bit more. But also in my personal life, I've had to step out of my comfort zone. Everything that I knew before, I work with a really young team. If I think of their average age, 19, 20, 21-year-olds, I was that age a long time ago, And so keeping that in mind and keeping the youth that we are working with, listening to them. I actually, last week, when we would get together online and we shared the vision of RLabs with the team, and everybody could ask questions and make comments and contribute. And I have to admit that these young people are phenomenal. The way that they think about things, about life, about business, about the organization, about their future, I think is really unprecedented. And I don't know who to give credit to, but I'm really glad that there are young people that's thinking like that are being transformed. For so long, there's always been lots of negative connotations to youth, whether it's in South Africa, whether it's in Cape Town, on the Cape Flats, even across the continent. But just digging a little deeper and pausing and watching them, I think we are really in for something extraordinary this year. So it's not just me that has to grow and feeling, I have to expand my horizons. I've seen quite a bit of the world already. I've done quite a lot of things. And then I think, but that's not enough. I can't stop. I can't stop dreaming. I can't stop having goals. I can't stop wanting to try new things, to experiment and to explore, because there's a whole other generation that's still coming that has also got an appetite for that. And so how do we make sure that individuals always feel that I can always start afresh? I can always start anew. I can always try something new. Especially if you just think about business, we're using the term quite loosely in RLabs, side hustle at the moment. And we were talking about it, especially with the RLabs women team, because we're running our VIP program, which is our virtual incubation program for women entrepreneurs, starting this evening, running for 2 weeks. It's so intense. It's after hours every night. And we have over 20 of the RLabs women staff that are committing their time to helping these entrepreneurs. And even just seeing that passion and that drive and that commitment, we know that that's making an impact. And we've really been encouraging everyone, have a side hustle, have something that you're doing on the side that feeds you, that feeds your passion and your drive, and something that your creativity, or that you're exploring, because we need to have that. As human beings, we don't just have one way of living. There's different parts to us, there's different sides to us. And if we're not going to tap into all of that, what kind of individual do we want to be? Do we want to be known as? Do we want to be seen as, right? We all live in communities. We have people walking down the street that watch us, that know us, whether it's our cousins or nieces or nephews or anyone else. There's always someone watching. And what do you know, when they watch you and they watch your life and they see what you're doing, what do you want them to take away from it? You know, do you want them to feel inspired, to feel like, wow, you know, that person did that, I can also do that? Or do you just want them to have no opinion afterwards? And so we're always encouraging everyone, you know, please, you know, don't give up your life. We're not at the end yet. There's still so much more. There's still so much more coming. So for me personally, yes, I have lots of things on the horizon, things that I'm busy experimenting with. Yeah, and so there might be a few new big announcements coming soon.
Thank you so much, Rene. I'm going to hand over to Althea. You know, I'm sure she's got more going. She's been smiling, standing in agreement with you throughout. So over to you, Althea.
Thank you so much, Christine, and definitely thank you so much, Rene, for sharing. I think, yeah, the excitement is really, I don't know if this is the right word, but the contagiousness, I'm feeling it, you know, it's really contagious, your energy as well, Rene. I just would like to share some of the comments very quickly online, and some of the engagement that we are getting. I think it's Yolanda saying, wow, 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 congratulations. May God strengthen the team, RLabs daily. Awesome, there's no words, so moved by what's happening, really incredible. And then this is in Afrikaans, but I'll try to I'll try to translate it. So it says, nou so ons eie celebrities, well done, Rene, you rock. So that just means go. We are doing it. Go for it. I'm not sure if I'm getting it right, but definitely just celebrating with you, Rene. And thank you so much to everyone engaging with us online. I do know that we can't really share too much, but I do know there is something exciting happening tomorrow. So do stay tuned to our social media. That's all we will say for now. But yeah, I think that's really all that I would like to share. I'm not sure if you have any last words, Rene. Something maybe exciting that we can expect tomorrow. Are you able to share more, or does people just need to tune in?
Well, people definitely need to tune in, but there is a global conference happening at the moment in Davos. It was supposed to be an in-person conference, and it's a conference they have every year. It's called the Davos Agenda, held by the World Economic Forum, where world leaders come together, and CEOs and, you know, people that's making strategic decisions come together and talk about some of the issues that we are facing, especially around, you know, whether it's climate change, whether it's about the pandemic, yeah, and different things. So this week on the, you know, we've been sharing it, I think, on our social networks anyway, where you could tune in and listen to some of the leaders, you know, speaking about things. The president of China actually did the opening address just earlier. And very interesting, you know, his take was, at least this is what I left with, that we do need each other, you know, as the world. You know, it's not just one country that's going to move forward, or one continent specifically that's going to move forward. We all need each other. We're all playing a pivotal role in where we are moving, you know, globally. And I just thought, you know, as a world leader, that's really inspiring for him to be thinking like that. We know China is big, you know, but even for such a leader of that magnitude to still feel that we need each other and that we need one another, I think that's really, you know, just from the opening address earlier, that's one of the lessons that I'm taking with me, you know. So even doesn't matter where we are, if you're in an organization, if you're in a business, if you're in a school, if you're a student, if you on a farm and you're farming and you're growing your crops, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, we need each other. and we are because of one another. So that's my closing remarks, and we'll definitely see each other again later this week. And yeah, we could definitely chat some more. Thank you so much, ladies, for having me.
Oh, thank you so much, Rene. Thank you to everyone who tuned in as well. It's been absolutely amazing. You know what I love the absolute most? Africa is at the forefront of it, so we are super stoked. Yeah, that's really it from myself. I'm sure Althea's got words too.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And do continue sharing those comments, sharing the love. Thank you so much to everyone still commenting. Awesome, RLabs, you rock. We are really proud of your achievements. Rene Parker, amazing. Congratulations. Thank you so much for all the love, everyone. And definitely, like I mentioned, stay tuned this week. You'll definitely be hearing more from us, and of course, Rene as well as Marlon. So yeah, thank you, everyone. Do stay safe and have an amazing day. Thank you.
Yay.
Bye.
Bye.